We're good. Okay. So yeah, my name's Dallas. Most people on the internet they call me Easy or Easy TV, and we play the old Counter-Strike mostly, and a bunch of other random stuff. And
You are loud.
yeah. No. And yes, it's you know it's good. It's cool.
And next up we have Laura. Laura Pops. You want to tell us about introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Laura Pops. I am a Destiny streamer. I am a full-time streamer. I'm partnered. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. Love entertaining people. I'm from Hawke's Bay, so I'm lucky enough to have fibre internet in Hawke's Bay. So yeah. So I'm 23 years old. If you wanted to know how old I was.
Right. We're also missing one panelist who's stuck in traffic, so hopefully she'll show up very shortly. Try and leave the doors open if you can. Cheers. Next we've got 2A Gaming. 2AM Gaming.
Cheers. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Ryan, aka Frenchie from 2AM Gaming, which is me and Nina here. We stream together, aka Nizori as well. Yeah, and we play mainly Minecraft, but we variety stream as well. So we stream other games like H1Z1 and whatnot. That's us.
And lastly for now. It's Cynics, who heard me before. She's a lovely person.
Hi guys. I'm Becca, also known as Cynics. I've been streaming since January, probably last year, and I mainly stream Hearthstone.
Right, so hopefully we've got some fans of those games here, and we'll open up the floor at a later date for questions, should you have any. So now's a good time to think of what those questions would be. Please keep them PG rated, because we do have some of those. So, we're going to go through a couple of questions that we prepared before and sort of have a general chat about different aspects of streaming. And so the first question we've got on the agenda is how you kind of got into streaming. How did you discover it, or what really got you into it? And again, we'll go follow this on.
So I'm going to be first every time it seems. So I started streaming about a year ago now. And I've been partnered since December last year, so we're coming up to the 1 year resubs, which is pretty good. But basically, I just started watching Twitch when it used to be Justin TV, and I used to always try to snipe out my favorite players of games and verse them and show off how good I was and that I could beat them. And then I basically just got a better computer, saw that I had VDSL was available in my area, so I live in Auckland, so I don't actually have access to fibre where I live. And I was like, okay, I can make something work with VDSL. And I just jumped on there and just started playing a bunch of random stuff. Sort of started showing myself learning Counter-Strike, and then people just started coming in, and it all went from there.
I started streaming in January this year, just off PS4. It's a really good way to get started. But what got me going was I wanted to do YouTube initially. I went and got a gaming computer. I was going to do gameplay walkthroughs, and then my peers and my friends told me I should try Twitch, so that's basically what got me started, but my initial passion for gaming was already there.
Okay, so how we got started is I've always kind of had a passion for gaming, and Nina's always had a passion for gaming, and we've played Minecraft from a very early stage. So about March this year, we have a gaming PC, and we gamed, and we saw Twitch, and we just got on it one day and just started streaming, to be completely honest, and we've enjoyed it ever since. Want to say something?
You pretty much said everything. Yeah, we just kind of fell into it. It's not something we anticipated that we would end up dedicating time to, but it's very enjoyable. So in January last year, I bought a game called The Stanley Parable. You guys might know it. And I had a friend who actually wanted to watch me play, and I was like, what's a way I can do this? And I remember,
what kind of messages do you get, or what kind of engagements do you get with the community being a well-known streamer?
Okay. So really, I think we've got to know people through stream, which is the coolest part about streaming so far. We've really got to know people in our area where we live and right throughout the country. Even though we're quite a small stream, I think that's been the coolest part about streaming so far. Would you like to say something about that, Nick?
I don't necessarily think that we're like well known for like timebeings, but it's just enjoyable to know that like if we post on Twitter like, hey, we're in the area, someone will send us a message that, hey, you want to get coffee or something like that, which is nice. Who's going? I don't think I'm like a well-known streamer as such. Most of my viewer base are probably the Europeans or the Americans because I stream at that time. That's like, you know, their lunchtime. So I have had people, you know, tweet me and say, I saw you on the street, but they never come up and say hi because they, I don't know, maybe I have like a resting bitch face or something. But so if you guys, you know, want to come and say hi afterwards, please do.
You want to go, Laurie?
Sorry, what was the question?
Have you been recognised outside of the stream, and what is it like to be a well-known streamer?
Okay, so I'm from Hawke's Bay, which everyone knows is like a relatively small place. So apart from everyone knowing everyone, and I have a lot of friends, they know what I do. I just recently went to TwitchCon in America, in San Francisco. It was the best time of my life. The Destiny community on Twitch, I've got my foot in that, and we're all like a family, basically. So we all hung out together at TwitchCon, and I had subscribers come up to me and ask for a photo, and it was really, really humbling in that respect. So that was my first time really meeting subscribers, apart from my peers who stream, who do subscribe to me. Being in New Zealand, I do have a strong New Zealand community, though, I mean, Twitch isn't that big yet, so I love them very much for that, though.
So before I started streaming full-time, I used to work at Burger Fuel, and so I used to incorporate that like quite a bit into my stream. Yeah, we're ripping Burger Fuel right now. Go eat that today. It's good. And anyway, a few people would come into Burger Fuel and like would want me to make them like a burger because you know, I'd say I make it the best. And other than that, really, I don't deem myself to be like a well-known streamer or anything. But I do have a little story. So the other day, my dad went and bought a new TV, and basically the guy was asking him, you know, what's it for? What are you going to be doing with it? Like, do you need these cables? And he goes, mate, I've got more cables in my house than I have any idea what to do with. He's like, you know, one son's a massive gamer and the other one's a big streamer. And he goes, wait, he's a streamer? What's his name? And my dad obviously just goes, Easy TV. And he goes, I'm a subscriber to him. And so I get home, and my dad's got this guy's name written down, and sure enough, it's one of my subs from a stream, and he somehow sold my dad a TV. So other than that, no one else has really noticed me. My friends give me a bit of shit, I guess, for doing what I do. Like they only call me now by my streamer name. They don't call me by my real name anymore, which disappoints me. But you know, other than that.
So on that topic, I know you in particular have had some media coverage. Have any of you had any dealings with mainstream media or being interviewed maybe by Hawke's Bay paper or something? No. How about you? Tell us about your experiences in dealing with the media.
Alright, so like, I got hit up on Twitter by this reporter fella that wanted to do an interview on like what I was doing. I found my stream through some old like CS pros in the community that he knew that had been like, you know, this guy is like, I guess the leading like CS streamer like in the region. And so he hit me up and was like, yeah, you know, like, do you want to do an interview? And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not that kind of guy that wants to use it like as shameless self promotion or anything like that. And he was like, no, it's not about like you. It's about like gaming in the country, and that's one of my biggest focuses for what I do is to like create exposure for us in the country, like because we deserve, you know, like our place at playing Dota at the International, and we deserve our place at the League of Legends, like Worlds, and or whatever it may be. And so when he said it was focused on that, I was like, yep, you know, let's do it. And pretty much I had a massive camera in my face while I was trying to talk, and he was like, you know, you should be good at this, you do it every day, but when you've got a big camera in your face, it's pretty, and a big light, it puts you on the spot a little bit, just like now. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice thing. It's a nice like validation, I guess, for like what I do. And obviously, my parents up until this point were like thought it was a huge joke until 7:23 on a Tuesday morning when I'm on the tally, and that was when they were like, "Oh, okay, he's doing something real."
So on that note, let's talk a little bit about the growth of Twitch and streaming in general. How many people in this room know how much Twitch was sold for last year? 2 people over here who should know because that's what they do for a job. Yeah. You do? $970 million is what Twitch sold for a garage startup. And that is because it is player-made content for players. Yeah, so this is a new kind of emerging industry, and mainstream media, they struggle to deal with it. And so as part of that, they're going around and interviewing people, and Dallas here was lucky enough to be selected. Right, so next question I have for the panelists is around Eureka moment. When was the moment you realized, okay, this is what I want to do? When did it go from being something casual and a little bit of fun to when you started sort of investing into it as a serious individual? I'm going to start with Laurie because she's the closest.
Basically, I started Twitch and grabbed onto it with both hands and streamed every day. My passion was always there. I knew consistency was key, and it has helped me get to where I am today, just being consistent, putting in the hours. You have to enjoy the game, of course. If you don't enjoy what you're playing, you wouldn't put that much effort into it. So I've just always been that way. I didn't really reach a point where I was sort of like, yeah, I'm doing it. I have just always had the same attitude the whole time.
Cool, I'll take it next. So I think for us, 2am Gaming, it's all about just keeping up the fun and having fun while we stream, because that's why we do it. And I think we'll continue to do it as long as we're having fun. And we have taken it seriously, and we've upped our hours a bit more. But yeah.
Definitely what Laurie was saying, sticking to a schedule is very important, because if people know you're unreliable, they won't come back and hang out with you. If you're a small streamer like we are, then you really need to watch that, obviously. For me, I don't think there was like an actual like turning point where I thought, this was actually going to be like a thing. I just started doing it, and people actually came back to watch. So I really enjoyed it, and so yeah, I just did it day after day, and it's sort of like it became a thing.
What was the question? Oh, right, I was just saying, I had an idea. I was just like, I'm going to go off on a tangent. So yeah, I have a really bad habit of just talking about random stuff. That's probably what makes me somewhat of a decent streamer. But anywho, I started when I was finishing off at uni, and so I was finishing off my web development diploma at this point, and I always thought that I wanted to go down that track, and I basically just started streaming in my spare time. And then it kind of started being like, oh, I'm not going to uni today so I can stream. I'm not going to uni today so I can stream. And not today. And so I basically started doing 8-9 hours a day, every day. Basically, once more people than my brother and his friends started coming into my stream, it kind of accelerated way quicker than I expected. Even now, I still can't wrap my head around it half the time. I don't even know why people watch me, to be honest. But I guess around the time I had started getting about 50 viewers in there at a time, I thought, that's a lot better than I expected, And then I just applied for partnership, and then I got it, and I didn't start with a big plan or anything. I just kind of did it, and then as I started learning how the whole Twitch game worked, probably around December, when I got partnership, I was like, all right, we're in there.
Good answer. Right, so you guys have talked a little bit about schedules and the importance of being really reliable and being a place that people can go back to. Some of you do this full time, some of you don't. So let's talk about how you might balance that around a working week, or what kind of conflicts you've had to sort of manage, given that you might have a full-time job. And I know you've got some experience in this, so we're going to start with you.
Basically what I do outside of streaming, I'm a full-time master's student in architecture, and I also work at an architecture firm 2 or 3 days a week. So every like sort of spare moment, I just stream. Like I don't really have a schedule because it's just because of what I do. It's just because of life things. I mean, a lot of you guys can sort of relate to that as well. But yeah, so I just tweet and then people actually come in, and I'm really sort of grateful for that because I'm not a reliable streamer. I don't stream at like sort of 7 p.m. every day. So yeah.
So just on that, you study and you work and you stream, and so obviously there's a lot of conflict there. So would you say that your passion for gaming is what's driving you? Because I mean, it's a job, really, isn't it?
I think of it as like a sort of just something I do. I don't think of it as a job because I'm not partnered, and I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it because I'm bringing a community of Hearthstone players usually together. So yeah, I do it because I enjoy it.
I worked and streamed until I got partnered. So I worked from 9 till 5. I would take 2-hour break and start at 7, finish at midnight, and I did that like almost every day. So I guess it depends on like how much drive and like passion you have for what you want to do. You really have to chase it, to be honest.
I'm pretty bad, to be honest. Like I stream at generally the same hours of the night, but some nights I'm really bad with my schedule. Like, but I think it's definitely better to obviously have a solid schedule. Like when I have a good schedule and I stick to it for a couple of weeks, you know, you can definitely see the results from that. If you don't, then like there's been times, you know, I take 3 days off and you know you hit you know, you're half of what you had three days ago. So it's like a lot can change in 3 days, I guess, if you like miss streaming, or even if you start an hour late, sometimes, you know, people will find another stream and they won't come back to yours for the rest of the night. So like that is, I guess, I can't even remember the point of the question, but it's the core thing. If you have a schedule, that's the way that people know that you can be relied on and be there.
You said that you worked at Burgerfield. So I was trying to get to the point where, how did you balance your workload against your other workload, which was streaming?
So I mean, working at Burgerfield it's not like a job. So I pretty much have been, like, in my own eyes, like without a real job for a long time. So before I started working at Burgerfield, I used to work at an internet cafe. I used to manage one, and that was my initial plan to probably start streaming through there. And obviously, you know, the two go hand in hand. And then basically the internet cafe ended up going under. And then working at Burgerfield, you know, they were really flexible with my hours because of the way they are. So it was really easy, I suppose, for the most part, to be able to balance the two. Because if I had to do like a stream, or like if I had an event or something I wanted to go to or do, I don't have to call in sick or anything. I just tell them I can't make it, and they were very understanding in that aspect. But obviously I wanted to put more time in and more effort into the stream, and so that's why once we got partnered and we started making a decent enough income to live off, that we just sort of packed it in and just went full-time streaming. I mean, I still do an odd shift there, like week to week, because it's almost fun, like, to work there. But yeah, balancing it's hard, especially like work is obviously one thing, like study was another. That was obviously one thing that was getting in the way. And I mean, if you've got, like, you know, personal friendships and relationships, those will definitely take a hit, I suppose, if you're streaming 9-10 hours a day.
And your experience?
So with my experience, I was working ridiculous hours when we first started streaming. I was working basically from 9 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m. at night, and then we would come home, have dinner, and then stream until whenever we got tired, and eventually we just got burnt out. So what I would recommend for people wanting to get into it is definitely set yourself a schedule. It's like watching a TV show. You know what time it starts, and people will come if they know you're there.
Yeah, I can speak to a bit of what Cynic said as well, is you really have to enjoy it. Like, it has to feel like a passion. I think that's really important. You don't, because I've got a full-time job as well, and you don't want it to feel like another full-time job you're coming home to. You know, we do it, well, I do it because I enjoy it, and I really get off, you know, when chat brings the energy, you know, I think that's when it's really fun. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. I got a couple more questions and then I'll open it up and I'll ask you guys some questions that you might want. What has been the biggest challenge becoming a streamer? You know, we've talked about the hours, the schedules. Some of you are doing it for just pure fun, which is a good aspect. But there's other challenges that are involved in it. So you might say that, let's say the toxicity of Twitch can sometimes be there, or if you use the YouTube service. What is the challenges that you seem to face? You've got a mic in hand, so we'll start.
Yeah, I'll take this. First, so the biggest challenge for us so far, I think, to be completely honest, is some days, going back to that schedule thing, some days for our personal life, we will need off. And some of the community accept that really well, and some people don't, or they don't. They think they're being, it's fine, but it actually, it can hurt a bit, when we're going through hard times. And yeah.
So it can be quite hurtful when some people can't understand that you're going through like personal shit in your life, like someone might die, or you might have to pick an extra shift at work and things like that. It can be quite disheartening to see that something you put so much effort into spit back in your face, and I can only imagine like how bad it would be for people, obviously, like very easy, like if something comes up and the community might not react to it in the way that they want them to.
Who wants to answer these? Yeah.
Okay, so for me, my issue was my numbers. So I grew pretty fast since January, and now there was a stage where I just had to stop looking at my viewer count. When you're growing, you sort of monitor, and then you apply for partnership. Of course, I don't know. I just don't look at my numbers anymore. They don't matter to me. If you keep looking at your numbers while you're streaming, you start to get paranoid if it drops or if it spikes up. It fluctuates all the time, but there is some sort of consistency there for me, which is great. But it can actually alter your mood while you're streaming, and to just cut that out altogether is just amazing. So for me to sort of get to that point, like that was my struggle, but now I've just eliminated that altogether.
So you're saying that your numbers are not a good indication or a good indicative factor to tell you how well or how poor you're going?
Exactly, and it just eliminates any feelings or confusion, because when you take away the viewer count, you are actually just sitting there being yourself, and you can just portray your feelings and emotions in that time without any hindrances.
You can't remember the question, can you?
No, I can't, to be honest. What phrase?
What kind of challenges? Yeah, kind of challenge.
Okay, so
Biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge is probably. Okay, so like, has anyone seen me stream before?
Raise your hands. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, boys in the hood. All right, and girls in the hood. I don't particularly take lightly to people like talking smack in the chat. Like, I'm not your normal everyday streamer. Like, if someone starts like yapping at me, like I'll yap straight back to them. Like, and so that in regards to like the Twitch trolls or whatever it is, that doesn't really bother me. That kind of feeds me. It's more of like, I guess the hardest thing for me is like the game that I play. Before I played Counter-Strike, like I have been a competitive like Dota / like Heroes of New Earth player, like played MOBAs and RTS, and so like coming into a game where there's already an existing community, which is like longer than 10 years, it's hard like to gain, I guess, acceptance in the community. That's been one big challenge for me, is to like have that validation from my peers within the like Counter-Strike community. And the other thing is probably balancing like a personal life with the stream life, because if I could, I would just sit there 12 hours a day, but I feel obviously without having like personal relationships and like living a healthy lifestyle, you can't do that every day. And so like learning the balance between like living a healthy lifestyle, like seeing friends and family, and then moving to obviously doing the stream, sometimes get caught up in it. So it's just learning how to like separate the two, and yeah, just not letting your like personal feelings, like when people like bag on you, like if people say you're doing something bad or good or whatever, then you just don't let that get to you?
For me, I think it was getting the people I know in real life to sort of accept what I do. And for me, mainly, it's like the parents, it's trying to explain to them like what I do. And they're like very technologically challenged people, like they can't even use Facebook, right? So I'm trying to tell my mom like what I do, and it's like, I pretty much play games and people watch me and they talk to me, and then she's like, okay, like what's so special about that, right? There's that, and there's also getting recognized as a streamer, and as opposed to like a female streamer,
That's actually my next question. So the next question was going to be more along the lines of what it's like to be a female. I'm not so excuse you guys in the streaming world, because
I'll tell you. I know all about it.
there's a lot of sexual pressure from your audience, because it's anonymous. So people can say whatever they want. They can say things that are hurtful, and they can objectify you. So I wanted to talk just briefly about how you deal with that as a streamer. Do you want to start, Laurie? You look uncomfortable. Do you want? Yeah. Okay.
I get objectified as well, yeah.
For me, at the beginning, people coming in and saying lewd things. Lewd's the word around Twitch. Everyone knows it. It was very hurtful because I was sort of new. As I sort of grew and my stream grew, you just learn to block it out. If you see it in chat, just don't acknowledge it, block it out, your mods will take care of it. But you just have to accept that you're putting yourself out there as a female, and there are stereotypes for you. I've personally always portrayed myself respectfully on my stream. I don't show any cleavage or anything like that. So my community has actually grown with a lot of respect for me. So whenever now someone comes in, everyone in chat, even if they aren't mods, they just shit on them. So I've grown to just ignore it.
I think for my stream it's slightly different. Like, I don't think people sort of respect me in a way that, like, I don't objectify myself. I don't, show the cleavage or anything. But people do come in and they ask, like boobs or GTFO or, shoe on the head, all the cancer pretty much. Show my feet, yeah, that's the thing as well. And I've pretty much almost embraced it as sort of like lewd is like a part of my channel, and I can't stop it. So I sort of play into it, and people sort of they sort of come back, and they sort of become a part of my core followers. It's kind of funny, really. It's just one way to deal with sort of trolls.
I'm having an easy moment. There's no female streamers. Sorry. Oh, right. Okay, right. Anyway, so as a female streamer, I definitely feel a lot of pressure to act a certain way, look a certain way. It's unfortunate that most of the demographic of people who use Twitch is unfortunately young males. And if you're a female streamer and you're just beginning, it can be really disheartening to know that your stream is not worth as much to someone as someone else just because of your gender. It can be quite hurtful, but you do just have to brush it off and hope that with time, as you grow, it'll just cut down if you have a good mod squad, etc. It doesn't cut down. No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Can I add something to this? So like when it comes to like people, like whether you be a girl or a boy, and there's people talking smack, like if you let it get to you, or if you show it on your face, like when you look at that chat and you put the face on, and you're like, if you do that, they know that they've won, and they're going to keep doing it. So whether you be a girl or a boy, like the second you start fully blocking it out, and just if you look at it and you're just like ha 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 ha, and then you throw some banter back at them, like 9 times out of 10 you are going to get that person like coming back, because they're going to maybe throw some banter back at you again. And then by like the third time they come in, there was like for example on my stream, there's a bunch of guys that came in and just talked mad crap to me for like 3 days straight, and I just talked mad crap back to them, and now like I think 3 out of like the 7 of them are like sub to me now, because they just enjoy the fact that they can talk as much crap as they want, and I'll just talk even more back to them.
I think for us as well, we've kind of embraced that there's always just going to be the trolls. But as long as you don't acknowledge them, and we've found a few people that have actually come into our channel to originally do that, and then they've ended up being our friends and actually staying a long time. And I guess, yeah, that's the coolest part about it though, is that they've become our good friends and we've won them over, I think. Yeah.
We get the last laugh. We got the last laugh.
So this is quickly just touch base on the money side. So some of you make whatever it is that you make. Everyone's making everyone's laughing because you're on the screen right now. With those issues that you touched on, and how you're almost doing a song and a dance for those dollars, particularly those of you who've gone more pro. How do you feel those pressures? Because it is a balance, isn't it? You've got to get X amount of subs and viewership in order to justify paying a check. Because I mean, if I was correct, you kind of almost quit your job in order to do this.
Well, I mean, like, I did leave the job because there's no point, trying to have like all your eggs in different baskets. You just want to chuck them all in one and focus on one. I mean, the money side is pretty good. Like our dollar's terrible, and we get paid in USD, so we rocking good in that regard. But I mean, there's always obviously that little bit of, like, as Laurie was saying before, like, I don't look at my view account either, like, because obviously it just starts playing with you. Like, you go, or am I doing something wrong, or what am I doing today that's different, which is getting more people in here. And so, like, when you don't worry about that and you just be yourself, like, people enjoy that same vibe. And like, at the end of the day, like, if people are there and they're enjoying what you're going to do, they're going to support you, whether it be through subbing or donating to you. And as long as you sort of block that part out of your mind, like, it just happens anyway. And when I started my stream as well, like, I was already quite financially stable, and I always made it like a point of the stream that I wasn't there to get donations, and I wasn't there. Like, once I got sub button, I was like, do it. Obviously, I was like, do it. If you want to support, do that, because that's way better than just people just dropping money on you for no real reason, I guess. And yeah, I mean, like, as it grows, obviously, like, the fact that you can make a living from doing what you love is just, it's an unbelievable feeling to wake up every day and just be like, oh, I get to do what I want to do today. Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Can you say the question? Sorry. I'm nervous.
It was about all those issues you talked about, like not watching the account and kind of just dealing with the trolls as they are. It's a numbers game. How do you balance the entertainment factor against generating income if you're doing this full time for a job?
Okay, so as I touched on before, I worked from 9 to 5, and then I streamed 5 hours after that for a long period of time, and I don't know, I don't really burn out. I've done 11 24-hour streams. I used to do one every week, so I'm sort of like immune. Anyway, so I worked really hard, and then I applied for partnership, and I don't really, some people have, like, on their screen, they've got a sub goal of, like, 10 or 5 or whatever. I don't have that up there. Oh my god, hi Jake.
Now
Everyone look at Jake, guys. So I don't have that up there. Even in the smallest way possible, I don't want to hint to anyone that I'm there for money. So I purposefully don't have that there. I try my best to entertain and make people laugh because I'm a big dork. But the money, comes in US dollars, which is, the conversion rate is nice. When you reach a certain amount of subscribers, you get more emotes in your channel as well, which is, I just want subs for emotes, that's all. Because I love emotes, but I thoroughly enjoy everything to do with what I do.
Do you have any issues with balancing channel work with
No.
I think, like, because all of us obviously got into it through, like, passion as such, that, like, obviously, like, is there anyone here that doesn't want to get paid money? Like, do you all enjoy getting paid? Because, I mean, like, obviously getting paid, it's nice at the end of the day, but it's not a core thing about, like, for me, and I can probably speak on your behalf as well, that, like, if we get paid $0, it doesn't matter. But like what we've worked to, like what we've worked towards to get to this point, like it's. I'm trying to find like a nice way to put it. But I mean, like, you know, if we got paid nothing, it would be good. I mean, it would still be fine. But obviously, to do this every day, it is work. It's definitely not easy. Like, yeah, this may. It's definitely not easy to, like, you know, be there and like be entertaining and bring like fresh content like every night. So obviously, the fact that you get paid for it is a good incentive to keep you going and to keep things fresh as well.
And Tuane, Felix, you got anything to add? Because I mean, you guys are doing it for more fun, but I mean, do you generate income?
I'll speak to us. Like, I work full time, so I think I'm stable on the income side. But we do the stream for fun at the moment, and although we do get a few donations come through, I think we like to always put it back into the stream. So I think that's pretty important to us. And recently we fundraised enough money to buy a guy a game in our stream as well, which is it's a pretty cool feeling. There we go, Block Knight, shout out. My H1Z1 buddy. Yeah, do you want to speak on that as well? But yeah, we do things for fun, and I guess that's just, you know, we really appreciate people's support, but we don't expect them in any way to donate. I think people just do it out of love, you know, for the stream.
We're definitely lucky in that aspect that people are willing to just donate to us, which is really nice. It's completely, don't have to do it. But we do make sure that we put all of the funds that are donated back into the stream. Like, we don't go out and buy random ass things, which is good. I think that would really worry me if I was in their situation, the whole money thing from Twitch. I'm totally lost the plot. I'm really nervous. Oh. I'm really good at jumping. Oh, okay, bye.
I think for me, balancing income and entertainment, I don't think, you know, my stream is pretty much just fully entertainment, in my opinion. It's pretty much what Ryan said, already covered. I mean, yeah.
Can I touch on something real quick? Like when I was in your position, starting off streaming, I would use my money to put back into my stream as well, and it got me, like now I have an ARMAGEDDON Live Gamer HD, which is my capture card, goes into my computer. I got everything, like I got an Xbox One, I just bought all these things, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for people's charity and kindness.
I'll go with the same thing. So like, when I say that I was like somewhat like financially stable when I started because of like my job and all that sort of stuff, but there was certain like things that I obviously like knew I wanted in the future for the stream, and people would obviously say, you know, like, why don't you have like I'd complain about my back getting sore, you know, after like 8 hours, and so people basically, you know, helped me, you know, get like a new seat, and so like that's one part of it as well. Like when I didn't have partnership beforehand, before this was my like, actual income, like all of it seems like, especially starting, like all of us seem to have done the same thing. Like all the money you get like goes back into it, whether it be for like quality of the stream, like your own personal comfort on the stream. It's probably not until like, you know, I've been doing it for, you know, a year now. Only now is where I actually have to use that money in my personal life. Like before this, like all of it was, I do like a lot of like giveaways on my stream. Like if I'm playing a new game, like I usually buy an extra copy of the game to give it away. You know, like because I still do it now, but it's all about like I value my like the support that I get, so I try to give it back to everybody else as well.
Hold on to it. Okay, so now I'm going to open up the floor to questions. If you have a question, just please raise your hand and I'll come over and you just address it who you want to address it to. Here we go. First victim of the day.
I guess if you guys weren't streaming, what would you guys be doing instead? Like, would you have any hobbies, or would you go full time in another job, or yeah, just what would you do if you weren't streaming?
Alright, so well, I've got like I'm a web developer. Like sometimes I do it in my spare time, but like I guess I'll probably be in that avenue. I actually had this conversation the other day with my parents, because they're obviously, you know, anxious to see me you know, make enough money to get out of there. But I'd probably be a barber, like straight up. Like I have a passion for it, and like so I'd either be doing like web dev or probably be a barber. I'd still be playing like a crap load of games, and I'd still probably stream or YouTube like for fun. There'll be some way that I'd be like broadcasting what I do or teaching other people like how to play a certain game in some way. I think it's just like part of who I am. Like I've been going to internet cafes since I was like 10 years old. That's pretty much how I got into what I do. And I've always enjoyed like the social aspect of gaming, like whether it be like playing with a team, like playing competitive games with a team, teaching other people how to play the game. Like, so, yeah, that's me.
What would you be doing if you weren't streaming?
Okay, so I've worked, I'm so sorry, it's so bad. I've worked in makeup artistry, in the makeup artistry industry before. So I'm actually going to study that next year. Because I'm partnered and I want this as my career, I actually don't want to just have that as my income alone. I want to study makeup artistry and work and stream. I like being busy. So, and then it's just like a safeguard. So if I do move to America, which I plan on doing in a few years' time, if New Zealand doesn't give me the opportunities, which I think it might, I can work there, makeup artist, whatever, and then by the time, like you can't stream until you're 70, let's be honest here. When I resign from streaming, I still have my work, that I can do. So I'm just trying to play it a bit smart.
Cool. So I'll just speak to what I do when I'm not streaming. So I work full time, and I studied as well. So I got all that out of the way before I started Twitch. I've always had a gaming passion, so I love gaming. So if I wasn't doing Twitch, I'd be, on the PS4, playing the hell out of, well, I used to play Ghost Recon, so I've always loved gaming. But that's me, yeah. So I work full time. Yeah.
So I also work full time, but as well as working full time and streaming, I am working my to that. Now I'm going to say it out loud. Good. I also went to uni for 4 years, so I guess I'm lucky that I have that out of the way as well. If I wasn't streaming, I would have so much time. It would be really nice. But I don't know what I'd be doing.
You'd still be a gamer, right? You'd still be playing games.
Yeah, I'd still do it. I'd still have a terrible Minecraft addiction. I know someone's laughing at me for saying that. Don't judge me. I'm a fully grown adult. I can play Minecraft if I want to.
I think for me, I'll just pursue my other hobbies such as cosplay. I don't know. Drawing, I do a lot of art as well, and I sort of put that on hold for what I do, like streaming. And yeah, like currently, all the art I do is based around Twitch. So I do like Twitch emotes for like bigger, sort of like partnered streamers and such. Yeah.
All right. So next person. Anyone else got a question? I'm sure. Over here, this side, this time.
This is everyone. How do you deal with the terrible internet we have in this country and the internet speeds, and are you dealing with internet providers to get around those problems?
So until recently, I had like 12 down and like 0.85 up. So streaming was it was like potato quality for a very long time. So I recently got VDSL, which is, it's slightly better, 30 down, like 10 up, but it's still nothing compared to European, USA standards. I just managed somehow.
We have really nice internet, so it's not an issue.
Yeah, I've always been really techie, so I have to get the fastest internet. And we had Orcom before, and we've recently switched to Bitbite, and no, this is not sponsored.
Plugs.
When I started, I had fibre, so I guess I was lucky. I live near a primary school, which I think is why I've got it. I live in a good location, but if you can, to be perfectly honest, if you don't have very good internet and you're starting streaming, it's not really a good look. People like to see good quality streams. Unfortunately, this is just the truth of it. They like to see good quality. If you have fibre, get that. I don't know. I don't like to say that, but it's true.
Okay, so I rock with the VDSL. My house is 3 houses away from getting fibre, which drives me up the absolute wall. You guys know what's up. So we need to get onto the government about that. If I get the flag, give us some cables. You know what I'm saying? So the main way I deal with it is lots and lots and lots of angry tweets to Vodafone saying, fix my shit. Fix it now, fix it now. And I always get the same response. Have you tried restarting your modem? I'm like, do you know who I don't usually drop this line, but I'm like, do you know what I do for a job, mate? Like, give me some stability here. But yeah, I mean, it's like one annoyance which shouldn't be an annoyance, especially in like what we do. Like, I have to basically move halfway across Auckland to get the internet that I want to get, or to be like stable. And obviously, like, I am limited to taking my stream to like the next level. So basically, I have 2 computers at home, and I mean, if anyone's watched a stream, you guys know we're taking our time to get it set up. So I basically have 2 computers to stream from, one's for gaming, one's for capturing it, and it's kind of counterproductive because I've got such good hardware, but the internet can't stream at the bit rate to actually show off the great quality that could be shown. So that's a little bit of a letdown in that regard. But there's basically like a magic number. So like for anyone that's like getting into Twitch, there's a certain like setting. As long as you have over like 2 megabit upload, if you set your setting to that, it doesn't matter. It's always going to look watchable. So there is ways to get around us having the crap internet. You can set up, what's it called, like certain settings to make it look good, even without having the upload to, send that bit rate out. And the other thing as well is there's a lot of little sneaky programs around there that can help you like take the bandwidth like from a game and still like allow the stream to not pull it all and make you lag in the game. So there's a lot of like options out there to work around it, but it is something that we shouldn't have to deal with as like a first world country. You know what I'm saying?
Right, we have one person that hasn't ignored. So question number 3.
Hi there. I was just wondering, how difficult was it to get into the partnership and like figure out if you wanted to be a partner, and are you happy with it now?
Well, I personally, I'm blown away with being a partner. Like, it's an unbelievable feeling, and it's nice to be one of the first people like in your country. You're kind of a leader in that regard. So that's a nice feeling. Getting into the partnership program it's to be honest, like it's somewhat. I mean, I don't want to say it's easy, but I did it again. But honestly, I didn't really feel like it was that. I'm naturally like, I feel like I'm a bit of an entertainer and good with words and stuff. So when I started getting people in there, when I applied for it, I got declined the first time because I had no idea what I was doing. I tried to go in with like, I was like, oh, I got 1,000 followers. I must be big time now. But obviously that's not what it is. But the second time, when I went for it properly, when I had about I think like 6,000 or 7,000 followers or something, I just basically told them like my goals for what I was planning with streaming, like more about myself, like the way I was gonna like grow the stream, and by doing that, that's when they basically were like, "Yep, you sound like someone that we want to work with." Even though I probably didn't have like as big numbers as they say. So like they say on the website, you need to have like 500 viewers. Like I don't have 500 viewers. I just said, like these are the steps I'm gonna take. This is what I want to do with it, and through doing that, they basically took me on, and there's only. I'm not sure about this number, but I remember reading this the other day, or I got an email from someone that supposedly there's only the number's like, it's very low, there's only like 250 people on Twitch that have over like 500 subscribers. Does this sound about right?
Yeah, it's about true.
And so, like upon hearing that, I'm already in the top echelon of streamers on there. So it's obviously paid off for them, so I think they're happy with their decision with me as well.
For me, I always played Destiny, and then I went off and started playing Elder Scrolls Online when it launched on console. So when I did that, because I was getting in on it, my viewers boosted immensely, and that was when I decided to apply for my 3rd time. So I had been denied twice before, and as Izzy said earlier, I applied like I shouldn't have applied back then, like that's stupid, but I was wishful. But the process and the application as well. By the way, if you have over 150 concurrent viewers, like that's basically, yeah, you don't need 500. But when you're writing in the application, as long as you can portray to them something unique about yourself and that draws people back to your stream that is legitimate, and your ambitions and everything like that. Those are very important and they are key, and you should definitely take that into account.
You guys don't have partnerships. The question wasn't. Right, do we have any other questions? This guy, because it's like the third time in the morning.
I was just wondering, one of the best parts of Twitch is obviously interacting with the community that you build. But when you first start, you don't have that until you have, this really small community of your initial viewers. I was just wondering, what did you do to build that first, initial community of 10 or 20 people? And how did you keep them engaged and coming back?
I started streaming playing only one game for the most part. I dabbled in Minecraft, by the way. I love Minecraft too. But consistency and only streaming one game makes it so much easier for your community to get along with each other. They have a common interest, common ground. They know you enjoy what they enjoy, and they know when you're going to be there. So basically, that is very important, those things right there.
Yeah, I think for us, Minecraft, the same game, so consistency, and we have song requests, so we try to make ours quite interactive in the beginning, and we've always been like that. I think it's cool to have another one of us as well, so whenever someone comes in chat, even if you've got hardly anyone, always make sure you greet them and make them feel like they're welcome. I think that's really cool, so make everyone feel like they're welcome in those early stages. Want to say anything there?
Sorry to interrupt. You said you had song requests. How do you feel about the changes to Twitch that happened earlier this year, where they're going to crack down on those sorts of things?
Oh man, song requests is like dirty based. Like it brings in the best and worst of people. It's double-edged sword. Like you'll get heaps of people from raid forums coming in and requesting like the awfulest of things. Yeah, a cover song or like you guys know the ones. But it is good for bringing in people if you're small. Just be wary, I guess.
And speaking to that as well, in Twitch terms, I think there's a point to where we'll grow, where we need to get licensed music as well. And that's important as you grow, I think, and the bigger streamers have licenses for things like Monster Cat and whatnot for getting music, and there'll be a point where we need to do that as well, and we're fully aware of that, I think.
So back to your question, when I, sort of second day, I kind of did hate to say it, but I did put a shameless plug on my Facebook, and so it was, the first sort of 10 viewers were my friends, and then that sort of provided a platform for me to lift off and expand into people I didn't know. So yeah, about the music, I don't really have an opinion about that really.
I think the question was, well, you said you did touch base on it, was about how did you get started and how did you re-engage those people? You started with friends?
Yeah, I did start with friends, and after, streaming the Stanley Parable for the very, very first stream, I thought, it would be fun to sort of play Skyrim, and people actually came in and sort of watched me fail a lot, and they sort of kept coming back, and they really enjoyed watching that, so yeah, it's just fun.
Okay, so like I mentioned before, I basically would have my younger brother and his friend, and so we'd be playing, because the first game I ever streamed was Heroes of the Storm when I first got it, and I obviously didn't get that many people watching at all because the game was still brand new. And then later on that night, I ended up flicking over to Counter-Strike, and I noticed that I got a bit of a viewer bump up a little bit, because what I did is I keep my friends in the chat. Just to keep it more than zero, because if you're flat zero, you're all the way down the bottom, and then no one's going to find you. If you're at least on 1 or 2, then you're kind of because there's the number was it's ridiculous. There's 2 million people or something that stream on the website, and obviously at any one time, you're competing with 10,000 other people. It's a ridiculous amount of people that are actually streaming to zero. So as long as you pump yourself up over that zero, you're already halfway up the list. And obviously, at the point that we're at now, you're trying to boost yourself up into that top line of people, because that's where you want to be. But I guess the first way that I started re-engaging with people was I used a bot. Do you use the same one? Yeah. Okay, so like there's like programs out there that like can provide like unique things for your stream. So like as 2am were talking before about the song request thing, like I used a very similar thing to that. So where you'd spend time in the channel and you'd get this thing called easy points, and like you'd build them up and you could use them to like, you know, participate in giveaways, like request certain songs, because like I usually play, I'll touch on the music thing as well. So I play like my own music on there, like stuff that I like. Like sometimes I take song requests from people now, but that was a big driving point as well, was that people coming to see the, like, because I have a, I guess, somewhat unique music taste, and people like to listen to, I guess, something a little bit different. And so like that was one thing that people would come back for, is to see like what we'd be listening to on the day, sort of thing. And the other thing is just using that loyalty bot program really helped sort of build that first sort of like 10 to 20 like core viewership that would come back night after night after night. And to be honest, probably some of my reactions, that's probably what bring quite a few people back as well. Like I would lose my shit sometimes when I'm on there, and once 10 people see it, you know, like they tell another 10 people, and then it just goes from there.
Good. Right, so we are running long on time, so we're going to take maybe one or two more questions. Because I said no before. Sorry.
Yeah, just wondering, well, you play CS and Minecraft, they're quite legacy type. Do you find that's a big driver in the game choice for your subscribers?
So, if I, like this week for example, I've been playing like a different game. Some of you might have seen it, it's called Warhammer End of Times Vermintide. So it's like very similar to like Left 4 Dead but with rats. And so this week the whole drive of the stream is basically being king of the rats. We are going to kill the rats, and a lot of the CS guys don't like it. And so when I switch off like my main game or your legacy game as such, like, you know, the old titles will always be, it changes obviously like month to month in the community, but there's always basically the big three are League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Hearthstone. Like those are always your big three, and you might have like Dota sort of below it. And so as long as you're sort of playing one of those popular games, it's almost like there's two different, no one knows, there's not an exact science like what we do. Like some people will say don't stream a big game to start off with to get the viewers in. Some people will say, like for me personally, I say stream a popular game where there's going to be a lot of people, you know, flicking around channels. Because if you just try to stream, you know, something that's like, I don't know, Fallout 1, you know, like there's only going to be like a select like 100 people that want to watch, you know, Fallout 1. Whereas like in Counter-Strike, you know, there generally will be, because of the history behind the game, you know, there's always going to be a high number of people that want to watch the game, and like, as the game progresses as well. And obviously the esport games are the ones that definitely bring the most people in, you know, so like the games which are played in a competitive forum, like when there's tournaments and money involved, like people want to come watch the best players, the funny players. The games which are generally single player, unless it's brand new, they'll basically be the top of Twitch for like 1 or 2 days, and then after that they just dip and dive, and it just goes back to the same big three. So does that answer your question a little bit?
In saying it though, there was last year, there was a guy, a streamer, jumping after this very quick. He streamed Train Simulator 2016, so this is in 2015. It was a new game, but that game is the most downloaded client out of any game in history. And every one of his streams was just showcasing one new download. And in the time between when it came out and 2016, he had over 100,000 views. So I think while you're saying, you know, in terms of building a regular base, it's important to pick titles that everyone knows. Also, at the same time, there's a whole branch of various gaming communities you get ignored.
Yeah.
So if you start focusing on those things that you like, that is the branch that's being ignored. There is the opportunity there, I guess, to pull those people together and build your own base.
So yeah, just to touch on that as well. So like since I've switched games, like obviously some of my subscribers or my regular people, they haven't, you know, they might not be there for the night, but I'll pull in a completely different crowd from a different game. And so like that's one of the core things for me on the stream at the moment, is to not just play my main game, because it's almost like, you know, you're oversaturating yourself in the same like big titles, and you want to sort of go around and like play the other games and show, I guess, number one, your range as a gamer, and like number two, like it's obviously a different community altogether. Like the people that generally like I play Counter-Strike with, or that are part of my stream, you know, they are, I don't want to use the word like toxic, but there's a different level of like banter. Like they're more than happy to say, you know, like piss off, you know, like in nicer words than piss off. But whereas like when I've gone to Laurie's stream, like everyone in the Destiny community is like absolutely lovely. Whereas like people come to mine and they'll be within 3 seconds like, you know what I'm saying, you know, the old F word. But yeah, like community to community, like everyone's different, and you just need to find, I guess, like what the right thing is for your personality.
Yeah. Since I only started I'm talking gibberish. I played Destiny. I actually started Destiny in November. I started streaming in January, so I got my love for Destiny before I even started streaming it, which was good. But going into the Destiny community and being at the bottom and then staying in it and then getting to know all the other streamers that only stream Destiny as well, now I don't think there's not one Destiny streamer that only plays that doesn't subscribe to me now, and I subscribe to all of them. So we've got a really strong community, and it is really important to actually help you grow, because people host you, you're playing the same game, similar interests, your community loves it. I've got moderators in my chat that moderate for other streamers in the same category, like the same Destiny game. So everyone just loves each other. But there's a point where I'm at now where, because Destiny has a 10-year plan, I've got my foot in the community now, which is awesome, but I want to be a variety streamer. So what I'm doing now is at the last few hours of my shift, I call it a shift, I will play a different game. And it's easier then for my viewers to like transcend with me, and I can show them something else, like something interesting that they don't usually see me do or me react. I like to play scary games, so I just finished Until Dawn, which was amazing. Anyone else play Until Dawn here? Cool. On my first run through, only Jess died, so I think I did a good job. But yeah, I think starting off in just one game can have a lot of perks, but it is individual. It's all about you and what you enjoy at the end of the day.
I think starting off with one game is really the way to go. Before I streamed Hearthstone, I streamed Skyrim for like a good 6 months and another 6 months in Minecraft. And a lot of the people who actually watch me play Hearthstone today don't actually play Hearthstone. They actually come from like the previous games that I've streamed. So it's good to have that one game to sort of establish your viewer base.
Yeah, so I think for us, the choice with Minecraft is just we enjoy playing it, and it just so happens to be that, you know, it's in like the top kind of 10. It's not up in the top games, but viewers come, and I think, you know, sticking with Minecraft is pretty important because that's for our core user base. Even though personally I do like playing other games like H1Z1 and shooters and whatnot, but we do have to realise that that's kind of our core community, and Nina really likes building stuff. Maybe she can speak to that.
Like, if you do stream, you probably will find yourself being in a niche and being in one certain game, which is, it can be a little bit difficult to play the same thing over and over. I do have a very serious Minecraft problem. I should probably get help. I've been playing it for too long. The first time I played it was like 8 hours straight. Go to sleep. Yeah, I reckon it is good to start with just like one game that you really loved, but be prepared when people are gonna like, how do you say it? Flip your things when you go to some new game, because some people just hate PG, Redstone, PG, whatever.
Right, so last question before we do a wrap up, and after that we'll hopefully some of our panelists will stick around and get some photos with you guys if you want to get some photos. And there's also some other things we can do. So last question.
Hi, I just wanted to ask if you guys follow any other QB streamers, and if any of them are like your favorites or people you go back to.
I follow everyone here. I also follow my mods who I might be here today. Zero, Cooney, also Dave Dox streams as well from New Zealand. Where? You stand up. Stand up. Dave Dox, everyone.
I too follow the Dave Doxy boys. He's a champ. And my boy crew over here. So, I mean, obviously everyone on the panel as well. Yeah, there's a few like other like New Zealand, like a lot of it, because I play Counter-Strike, it's really big in the Australian scene as well. So like, as many New Zealand streamers that I find that I come across while I'm doing it, I definitely get into contact with them, and like we'll follow them, or and if they have any questions, I help them out as well. But a lot of them are Australian as well. Like a lot of the other people that I watch a lot are, like up and coming like Australian streamers as well. But yeah, everyone here, definitely. Perma-sub over here.
There was a point where I didn't know any New Zealand streamers, so I was like alone in the world. And then I found Easy, and I actually contacted him first. I found him first, which is quite cool. And then it opened me up to Quinn69, who's another large streamer. He pulls about between 2,000 and 4,000 viewers concurrent. He's good at what he does.
He's the best of a lot of us.
Yes, Diablo.
He should be here.
Anyhow, so that opened me up, and I was really happy about that. So I started following them, and then because of this whole organization now, I'm following these guys, and there have been a few others that are quite small too, that have come into my stream and contacted me, and I've sort of said, hey, message me off stream and I'll help you, I'll give you my advice. I actually say that in my stream a lot to anyone who wants advice, just message me. Even you guys, like anytime, you can tweet me or you can private message me on Twitch. It's really nice that Kiwis stick together. That's what I've noticed in the Twitch community, because it is so limited at the moment. It's really good that we have each other's backs.
Cool. So when we first started, which was just this year, we haven't been doing it that long, but we didn't think anyone in New Zealand would be doing Twitch. To be completely honest, we didn't really know. I know we've just been slowly, meeting people, and it's really cool because we've met not just Twitchers, but we've met other people who just watch the channel and gamers, and that's the coolest part. Is even meeting someone in your own company. As weird as it sounds, meet someone in my own company through our stream, and that's cool. So yeah, and we follow everyone here. I'm a big fan of PZ's stream, so I'm in there a bit watching his stream. But yeah, I love the way he socializes. Or not, but yeah.
Alright. Today. Thanks for coming down. I am Brian from Aspect of Gaming. Go on and like our page. We do a lot of social gaming events, and we help facilitate things like this. Special thanks to all our panel members. Thanks for putting the time. For coming down. Also, a big thanks to Leaping Tiger for helping us out. If you guys want to plug?
Yeah, so
I have a mic. It's easier if you just talk to the mic. Stand in front of everyone.
Okay, sure. Cool. So we are a location-based friend-finding app for gamers. So we recently launched. We're on iOS at the moment, and Android hopefully next month. Not to promise anyone anything, but it's very exciting. And also on the web, so you can check us out there. And basically, it's just a way you check into the game that you're playing, let everyone know what you're playing, and then it'll bring you all the people ordered by the people closest to you that are playing as well.
So thanks very much, and yeah, thanks for coming in. And apologies that we couldn't get the air conditioning going because it's filthy hot in here.
Do you guys want to stick around? I think there's going to be like an anime thing going on here. I don't know what they're playing. Sword Art Online Season 2, something like that. It's
Oh my god.
But